right, hey guys, so this is the continuation of the shack rebuild. I will be discussing kind of what I did, but I wanted to do a little bit of a close-up of the things that I had been waiting on a few things. So let me turn the camera around so you can see what I'm doing and I don't have to look back and forth. All right, I am still awaiting the Messi Paoloni cable. And so I got two LMR 400s run through the wall. The Messi Paoloni are going to go through those other two holes. This speaker I got in order to monitor the new radio that I've been waiting to show you, which is the Yaesu 991A, and this has both HF and VHF. I'm missing the Messi Paoloni cable, so only the VHF side is hooked up. I got this radio from the swap meet. This is a VHF, UHF, and DMR TYT MD 9600. A little bit older radio, but I wanted to have some more capability of monitoring multiple VHF or DMR bands. And so I have VHF both running here, and then two different channel areas on that running VHF. My SWR meter and my remote tuner are both hooked up to my 7300. And I got new Messi and Paoloni jumpers. I got 5 of them. And put them on here. So here's one of the jumpers. And then several of the jumpers are hooked to this one. The problem is that even though they are equivalent to LMR 400, even less loss, they are quite stiff. And so those are the Ultraflex 10s, but they are so stiff that I couldn't have the tuner on top of the SWR meter, or I couldn't have those back down here where they were, because the jumpers are 1.5 feet each, and that's the smallest the Messi and Paoloni jumpers come, and they are so stiff that they couldn't sit on top of each other or side by side other than this distance because of the stiffness of the Ultraflex 10, because it's a fairly large cable. And so I've got 5 of those jumpers feeding both the tuner, the SWR meter, going between that radio and this VHF side, going from the SWR meter to the 7100, doing jumpers between this radio and its tuner for the HF side, but I don't have the HF cable hooked up yet. And then I have one jumper up in the attic that was going between my auto tuner here and the bullet end fed that's up in the attic. So again, my SDR trunking software was running on this Linux laptop. It's being fed currently by the RG8X, and I am going to hook that up to the RG8U when my Messi and Paoloni cable comes in, and then I'm going to hook the LMR 400 that's currently attached to this will be hooked to that VHF radio, which has the RG8U. Then the RG8U will then run into the SDR, and then I'll probably pull this whole cable out and have it so that I can do portable stuff out in the yard. All right, here's the culmination of several weeks. I'm still waiting on my Messi and Paoloni cables, but I got the LMR 400 in, and so I just went ahead and hooked up stuff with that. So, got my power supplies I've always had. I did get a new PowerWorks block that I needed to make additional power connections. So it's very similar to this one. And so you plug in your power into one, and then you got 3 more receptacle adapters. And so knowing that some of these things don't really take a lot of juice, like the SWR meter doesn't take a lot of juice, the remote tuner doesn't take a lot of juice, and this radio here isn't going to be a lot of amperage. I have basically multiple things hooked into this one power supply. So it's running the 7300, and then it's running those 3 things up there. Right? So 7300 I just fed with LMR 400. The Yaesu 991. Right now I only have the VHF side hooked up because I have a net tonight. And so I hooked up the VHF side with LMR 400. And then I have the, and I know that the screen's a little, let's get over there, the screen's a little bright. And I have hooked up to this one, my old RG8U is hooked to that one. And it's putting out 50 watts. And so is this one, it's putting out 50 watts. Once I get my Messi and Paoloni cables in, I'll rerun Messi and Paoloni to this one. And to the HF side of this one, I'll run Messi and Paoloni. And then I have an extra LMR 400, and I have to decide what I want to do with it. Do I want to hook it into this instead of the RG8U, and then make the RG8U work for my my SDR, which right now I have disconnected because there's some rain that came through and I just didn't hook it back up. Currently the only power into this block is this radio, but there is a power connection from the tuner that's also going to plug into there. Wow, it's been so long since I hooked it up. A couple weeks ago, I freaked out wondering where all the power was. So yes, I do have the 7300, the remote tuner, the SWR meter, and the small VHF radio is all hooked to this power supply. It's a 30 amp power supply, so that's fine. And then this power supply, I only saw one set, and I was like, well, the tuner's got to be hooked up to one of them, right? Which is this set of cables here, power pole. And then I was like, well, how is this getting power? And then I forgot that I ran it to the red and black posts on the back of this. And so the radio and its tuner are running through that power supply. Well, that's kind of it in a nutshell. That's what I have going on so far. Again, really the only thing that I'm missing is the two 50-foot sections of Messi and Paoloni. And MFJ has told me that apparently the division or whatever that handles that cable, everybody had COVID. And so they were a little back ordered on the cabling. Once that comes in, the only other thing I need is a splitter. And that 8-band vertical antenna that's up in the attic will be split. The HF side will be split to the 991. The VHF side will also be split to the 991A using that splitter. And then I'll have Messi and Paoloni doing the HF side. I'll have the LMR 400 doing the VHF side. And then all of that will come feeding into the shack. And that'll be the very last thing for this shack rebuild. So still waiting on that cable to come in and the splitter. Other than that, everything's running. A little bit complicated with the DMR software. I used both Contact Manager and the RT System software that you purchase and the free software that comes with it. But because this is a 6 or 7 year old DMR radio, it was a little bit complicated. And it actually ended up using a split of all three in order to get everything functioning. But I got probably 40 or 50 channels in it right now, which is all I can really hit from where I'm at. And that's VHF, UHF, and DMR channels. I have pretty much all the same channels running into my 991A on the VHF side. And I don't have anything else programmed for HF because I don't have a line hooked to that side yet. But that's it for the shack build, and appreciate y'all watching. This is Ham Solo K0FYR 73.